Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, as we love to hear back from our viewers. Also, if you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron of our show through Patreon and or GoFundMe. Links are listed below the video in the description. From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gerry Kissell.
Hey guys, another episode of Pop Culture Minefield with Keith
and Gerry.
It's Monday. Great Sunday. So we're here to talk about some really cool stuff, nerd stuff.
Yeah, so get out of that Game of Thrones haze.
And this is going to be our Dirty Nerd episode. Okay. I warned you about a few days back. Yeah, Friday. I told you we're going to do a Dirty Nerd episode, and this is it. So you'll find out. First, though, we're going to go over the fact that we were talking about something that was really funny, is that I'm a big Robson Green fan. I have been since about 2002, when I first saw Touching Evil, a UK British crime thriller. They tried to bring it to the States with the guy from Burn Notice.
Yeah.
And even though it was a really good interpretation of the show, it didn't wash.
Kind of like Sherlock and how we tried to interpret it as elementary, and it just...
Yeah, it just didn't... I mean, I still like Elementary for what it's worth, because I will watch anything about Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
But it is nowhere near as good cast-wise and acting-wise as Sherlock over in the UK, even though that show had its own problems in that it deconstructed the mystery to where there was no mystery. It was no longer solving a mystery. Weird. But still a lot of fun to watch. So it was more of a character study. But Robson Green was in that show, Touching Evil, and then he was in this other favorite show of mine called Wire in the Blood, which was another crime profiler show, one of the early versions. Really good show. Okay. And I found out that when that show was not canceled, but just sort of, they didn't have any funding, so they couldn't do the show anymore, that there was a big flare-up between him and Simon Cowell. And I'm like, what the heck association does he have with Simon Cowell? Well, apparently Simon Cowell produced a song with Robson Green back in 1995, you said?
Yeah.
And it was, they did it, him and another actor named Jerome Flynn from Game of Thrones, one of the best characters on the show. They sang together, and they did a cover of the Righteous Brothers song, Unchained Melody. And it became such a hit, with Simon Cowell producing it, that they were asked.
It was the number one hit of the year out of the UK. So
two great freaking British actors that I had no idea were a duet. and they're both like, Robson is just always plays really likable characters, while Jerome is a rapscallion kind of actor. Yeah. He's really good at playing rapscallions and troublemakers who are a lot of fun. That's his thing. They both have their own niches of what they like to play. So really good stuff. And they did more songs. So do you remember anything else?
They did like 2 albums is what they ended up doing. And it's all covers. And wasn't Jerome Flynn, he was also in Peaky Blinders?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Really, another great show on Netflix. We're always talking about Netflix for some reason. Even though I canceled my subscription, I still know they got some good quality shows over there.
Sabrina.
But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting little bit of trivia that Jerome Flynn and Robson Green were a singing duet. And it's just so weird. And I've never heard anything that they've ever sang. I'm going to Google it eventually and I'll listen.
I think as a group they were known as Robson and Green.
Robson and Green. Wild.
No, I'm sorry. Robson and Jerome.
And Jerome, right.
Wow. Yeah, Robeson and Jerome.
But anyway, if you haven't Googled it, go Google that. It's Robeson and Jerome, and look up the stories on these guys. They're really fascinating, and the flare up between Robeson Green and Simon Cowell was another one that kind of blew my mind. Anyway, that's how I found out. Darth Maul in the news with Ray Parks, which I'm not quite understanding, because I love Ray Parks. I think he's great. It bummed me out that he wasn't allowed to do the voice, because he's got that David Prowse kind of Surrey English accent.
Yes.
Which is why Dave Prowse didn't get to do Darth Vader, because George Lucas didn't want that. Well, apparently George Lucas didn't want that Surrey accent for Darth Maul.
Yeah.
So, but he's apparently been cast for the Clone Wars as Darth Maul again. But for what? I don't. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll find out. But it's a CG animated show. So yeah, I don't get it either. I'm like, what's he doing? He's just gonna sit like?
I'm available. I'm a little cheaper too, so.
Yeah, and of course the connection is, of course, to the actor. I forget his name right now, but he plays the Tick on Amazon.
Yeah,
was the original voice of Maul, and we were talking about this when this subject came up. That how hurt he was that he had been replaced last minute as the voice of Darth Maul for Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yeah,
and it was like, why would he do that? And then not even tell him. He finds out when he shows up at the premiere. Well done. But anyway, Ray Parks is in Clone Wars. I don't know doing what. We'll find out as Darth Maul. So, and then of course, the exciting news for him, I'll let him break it.
There's nothing like a good comic that just becomes a really incredible film or television series. You know, like, let me just pull one out there, like The Umbrella Academy. Well,
Preacher.
Amazon, Preacher's another good one. Well, now Amazon presents The Boys.
By Seth Rogen again, and his partner who did Preacher.
Yep.
And
it's a comic book about a group of gentlemen that decide that they are the ones that are going to keep the super-powered beings in line. So when they mess up, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like what happened in Age of Ultron. When you drop an entire city on civilians, the boys are the ones that get the call to go over there and just, you know, show up at Tony Stark's place. And
now, if I understand the trailer,
yeah,
that's what Urban is. Keith Urban is playing one of those guys.
Yeah, Carl Urban is one of the boys.
Did I say Keith? I meant Carl. Carl Urban. Sorry, Carl.
Carl.
Good eye, Mike. Good on you, Mike.
You may also know him as Judge Dredd.
And Dr. McCoy.
Oh, yes. But, yeah, he plays one of a group of gentlemen that they see it as their duty to keep the superpowered beings in line.
Well, I watched the Red Band trailer, and this is what I'm talking about the whole dirty, nerdy stuff. It's really good. The trailer. I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, because I'm like, is this really necessary? And then I watched it a second time, and I really enjoyed it. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, anything you think is important to mention about the show? Past what they do?
You know, it's got a great cast, but my thing is, with something like this, some of you may have heard of the book, and some of you may have never heard of the book. Go ahead and watch the trailer. I suggest that you pick up a copy of the book, or at least the trade paperback, and just read the first issue.
I'm assuming it's mature too?
Oh, yeah, it's mature. Yeah, because they don't just, like, use harsh language with these people. They go out and curb stomp a few superpowered beings.
In the trailer, there's a couple of those. You get one that gets stomped, and then the one that freaked me out is girl sitting on the dude's head. She's got superpowers and squishes him. And that was the part that turned me a little bit. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's a very dirty, nerdy show.
Yeah,
it's Seth Rogen, so he's gonna get edgy and funny. So I like Preacher. I think it was one of my favorite comic to TV shows.
I'm still thinking about sitting on my head.
Yeah, it was so gross.
Oh.
It's every guy's nightmare.
Yeah, it is. Some of you freaks out there think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, just something messed up about you people.
No.
But that's when is that coming to Amazon? When is it premiere?
Oh, I'd have to look that up, but trust me, you will know because Amazon's going to be spending a lot of cash.
Yeah, advertising.
Advertising the heck out of it. Plus, it's Carl Urban.
And I will never give up my Amazon Prime membership because I get so much out of that. It's so useful in so many different ways. So, and as Mike Zero would say, I'm very excited about this. Fans should be excited too. It's very exciting. Mike Zero.
Well, I guess we've reached the end of the show. Now,
That's it.
remember,
Yeah, it's a quiet Monday.
do us a favor.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Hit the button. Hit the like. Hit the bell icon. Bring in some friends.
Smash that like button. Post a comment.
Yeah.
We don't get very many comments.
We want to hear from you.
Please say something to us. We're lonely and sad. According to people on Facebook, I'm a very sad, lonely person. Very sad, lonely. So with that, that's Keith.
That's Gary.
And Pop Culture Minefield is out of here.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
This is Chuck Dixon speaking to you from the control tower. It was a real kick to return to a series that I wrote 30 years ago, but even more fun is returning to an interrupted storyline that I was writing 30 years ago. Longtime Airboy fans can finally find out what happened next. Join us, support us, and keep them flying. Over and out.